This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
Hi, my name is Igor Kheifets, and this is the List Building Lifestyle, the only podcast which delivers cutting-edge conversion strategies from the online trenches straight to your earbuds. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. I also invite you to grab a free copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle.
Welcome back, list builders, to another action-packed episode of List Building Lifestyle with your man, Mr. Igor Kheifets.
Action-packed? You mean I gotta start blowing shit up here?
Bro, that's what you do in the royal court with the royal butts. You blow up spots, right?
Yeah, well, I do a lot of things, but I haven't blown anything up. So if anyone's listening is a demolition expert and you want to invite me to a show or something, I'm open. I'm receiving invitations. We're open. Feel free to reach out to me through the website.
There you go. Customers only, so you got to sign up first.
Yes, you got to buy traffic first, of course. Yes.
All right, Igor. So what is the story today? What do you have for us?
Well, John, it's not really a story because most of the stories are made up, right? Well, what I want to chat about today is probably this reality, which is really frustrating to me. And it's frustrating because it occurs again and again and again, and it has been occurring, for as long as I've been in this industry, which is, we're getting close to a decade now. And here's what happens. Bob signs up for a business opportunity. Bob tries his hardest to learn this business opportunity inside out, watch a bunch of videos, tries to share it with his friends and family, and quits because it doesn't make him any sales. Bob, once he quit, he takes a break for like 6 months, and then, he realizes how much his life sucks, and he's back trying to make money with business opportunities. And the first thing he's doing, he's choosing a different business opportunity. Why? Well, because if it's a different business opportunity, things may be different, right? And so Bob joins this new business opportunity. And now he says, well, you know what? Last time I didn't try this. And he tries social media marketing. And he's trying his damn hardest. And 2 months later, he's still not making any money. Or maybe he made one sale, but not enough. And he says, you know what? Fuck it. I'm quitting this one as well. And he moves, but this time, instead of like quitting, he quits just the business opportunity. He goes to the next one. And the cycle sort of repeats itself over and over and over again to the tune of sometimes up to 10 years. 10 years of struggling from one business opportunity to the next, which is ridiculous, but it's true. That's what the reality is. And so this episode, this, broadcast, if you will, is really, I'm basically doing it for the Bobs, right? For the Bobs of the world that are jumping, the jumpers. So if you're a jumper, I got a question to you. And the question is very, very simple. You seem to question everything. You seem to question the business opportunity. You seem to question the people that brought you into the business opportunity. You question the traffic sources that you're using for the business opportunity. You question the management of the business opportunity and even the tactics that are being taught within the business opportunity and how to promote the business opportunity. Yet, I never seen a single Bob question himself or herself. If Bob is, Bob's a woman's name, but, you get what I'm saying. The metaphorical Bob, needs to question herself more often because it is, quite frankly, stupid to question everything and everyone but yourself when it comes to building online business.
Man, I was about to get on you because last time we recorded, you turned me on to some Bruce Lee books, and I read Bruce Lee, Striking Thoughts. And that was one of the things, that's actually the main thing that I got from that book was question everything. And it almost felt like you were saying not to question everything, but you said question everything and yourself. So damn it, I wanted to pick a fight with you.
Yeah, that's not happening, man. You're my bud. You're the only person I'm not fighting.
It sucks. I so badly wanted to challenge you, but you're right. How many people are looking for answers outside of themselves? I think we talked about this in an episode about God, where everybody's just looking for answers outside of themselves, but they never go internally to find a real answer.
That is exactly that. In fact, I had the weirdest conversation. It's funny you brought this up. I had the weirdest conversation with a friend of mine who's like, she believes in God, really. She works in this coffee shop where I usually work at. And, she's basically a Jew, right? But she believes that Jesus Christ is the Savior. That's her religious
Okay.
belief. And so she comes from a very religious family. And I had this conversation with her, and she's like, I'm like, do you believe that, Jesus is going to come and basically save everyone? She's like, yes, Jesus is going to save us. Okay. Do you think that's going to happen in your lifetime? Right. And she says, yes, I think
Whoa.
he will show up. And I'm like, okay. And we don't know that. Right. So I can't question it. But then before I could ask her another question, she says the most incredible thing. She says, my mother's very religious, and she has 3 friends that did not believe they will be able to meet Jesus and to see Jesus. In fact, they feared that moment when he comes, because he will put all believers through some test of some kind, right? Like I'm not sure if it's a quiz or like trial by fire, but basically he's going to put every believer through some sort of test. And these, her mother's friends said they don't think they will pass the test. And you know what happened, Jonathan?
What?
All of them died last year.
Oh, gosh.
They were women in their mid 50s, and all of them, the 3 of them, have passed away. Now, as far as I'm concerned, if I'm going to study their medical history, their behaviors, their eating habits, I'm sure I can find a reason why these women passed away. Now, my friend thinks they passed away simply because they feared God and they didn't think they will be able to handle it. So that's the reason why they died. So once again, and I love her. I love her. Trust me, she's one of my bestest friends. But that is one of those prime examples how people question everything, how people put the belief in everything but them, right? How they will do anything to take the responsibility from their shoulders and put it on someone else's, be it a real person or an imaginary person, or maybe it's an imaginary non-person. But whatever the case, it's not them.
All right, so bring it back to the business before we get in trouble for all our religious talk here. But what is it that these people have going on? Bob him, Bob her. What is it? Why are they not questioning what's going on internally? What is it that's keeping them from actually going in and getting those answers that they much need, especially after 10 years?
Well, because the idea that the reason Bob has been wasting time and wasting money and going through one humiliating experience after another is Bob's fault is so damn painful that it's easier to go seeking outside reasoning. For the same reason, a lot of people will blame and complain the government, right? They will complain about the government and they will blame the government in all their life's problems simply because if they admit to themselves that they are to blame, at least to an extent. I mean, come on, it's your life, right? You make the decisions, you choose to wake up in the morning, you make a conscious decision not to kill yourself every morning, thus, you are responsible for your life. So, these same people, that's the same mentality. I will blame the government simply because the government can't really respond back to me. In fact, whenever a politician speaks, whenever there's a new election, the politicians kind of take the responsibility, right? They will point the finger at their competitors saying, they ruined the country or they ruined the country. Or if you like this guy, he will ruin the country, as if the people have nothing to do with it at all.
I'm feeling sad now for these people. Or maybe I should feel happy because that just means less competition for us, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. But at the same time, think of the world we live in. I mean, sure, I understand that in a big way this industry exists because people are too complacent, lazy, and irresponsible to take any, responsibility for what's going on in their lives. I understand that. And that is why they need punching bags and they need guys like us to blame because we're so evil. We're making all the money. They're not making anything. So we're basically taking that money out of their pocket, right? That's why we're rich. However, at the same time, it's extremely irritating and it just reinforces the world to move in a really bad direction. In a direction where everybody is an insomnolent sloth.
Whoa.
It's disgusting. Now think of the world we will build if everybody, every Bob, every Jane, every Frank, every Igor will take 100% personal responsibility for everything in their life, be it the good stuff or the bad stuff. Think of the world we can build and the world our children can live in and grow up in, and their children can grow up in if we were to do that.
That's not going to happen, and I'll tell you why. Because the ultra elites, the people at the very top, the top 0.5%, they want you to be dependent on your government, to be dependent on your God, to be looking for those answers outside of yourself so you don't take accountability, you don't rise up, and you don't get your piece of the pie. So you could be that little slob or that that little gnat that they flick away. That's my belief on it.
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. But you know what's sad? The sad part is not that they want it to happen that way. It's that they don't even need to do anything for that to happen. They just need for the human nature in the society to keep doing what it's doing. That's the problem. The problem is that every Bob out there is a freaking drifter that, he doesn't even think for himself. And when he thinks for himself, he's not really. Because if Bob or Jane would take responsibility for their actions and decisions, the first person they would question would be themselves. Just like every successful internet marketer that I've ever met in this industry, right? No matter if online or offline, just like that, because that's how they do it. Like, you don't hear Russell Brunson or Frank Kern complaining that they purchased a course for $10,000 that didn't quite work out for them, do you? But I'm sure Russell Brunson and Frank Kern have some, setbacks in their business. They lose money, they lose time, they make mistakes, they hire employees that are bad employees. They have their own problems to deal with. But you don't hear them blaming everybody else for those problems.
I know that some people are getting hurt, and those are probably going to be the victim people. And now some people are being empowered because I have a feeling you're not trying to put us down here, Igor, are you?
Well, I guess I have my own way of motivating people, and it can come across as too harsh and even evil to some. And if you get offended,
Igor.
if you choose not to hear what I'm saying, if you choose to hear the offensive stuff, then it is up to you. It's your decision. And again, it just reinforces the same mentality. Oh, Igor, he's such an asshole. I don't want to listen to him, whatever, right? As if I gained something from telling you that you're acting responsibly. But even if all we've done is alienated 1,000 listeners and one person has now gotten the permission, right, to take control of their life and change it, then as far as I'm concerned, we did a great thing today. We did a mitzvah, like we did something good. It's a Jewish word. So as far as I'm concerned, if you're offended by this, just unsubscribe, leave me a bad comment about the show on iTunes, and I will never talk to you again until you sober up and come back about 2 years later saying how right I was. But if you hear the truth in what I'm saying, because I'm not sugarcoating anything here. By the way, Jonathan, you know how it's interesting. It's the people that care about you the most will tell you, will tell it to you straight. No sugarcoating, just even being offensive at times. While the people who really have an agenda that want something from you, they will kind of sweeten shit up. They will put it in a really sweet plastic bubble or something. So it looks nice, so it tastes nice, Isn't that the truth?
It's interesting that you say that. I'm gonna let my wife know about that. I'm not an asshole. I love you.
You're yeah, that's what I'm saying. Honestly, that's exactly what happened with me and my wife about 2 years ago. I told her, and this is, I'm gonna lose so many female listeners right now, but I told her she was fat. Like when she gave birth to Erica, I gave her a couple of years to recover from it. Because obviously giving birth is like having a truck drive over you. It's really not simple. It's really difficult. And I give women credit for being able to do that. Plus, after you give birth, take care of the kid. That's another trial by fire kind of thing. But 2 years after you give birth, if you don't get back in shape, there's something wrong with you, right? Either you don't care about your marriage and yourself, first and foremost about yourself and your health, or there's something mentally wrong with you. So I told my wife, look, you've gotten really fat, and I don't like that. I don't appreciate it. Now, the interesting part, Jonathan, just like with marketing, right? What I've done is I triggered an existing pain because she felt the same way. But it was only after I said it that she felt it was about time she did something with it. And lo and behold, 2 years later, she is fucking hot. In fact, she's hotter than she was before giving birth.
Good grief. You really triggered something.
So, I mean, it wasn't easy. It was really difficult to tell my wife, like, face to face, you're fat, you're looking like a cow. But
oh gosh,
it sparked, she responded to it that way that you have to respond to criticism when the criticism has any basis to it, right? And maybe she's been listening to the show, but she responded to it in a really good way. And she said, you know what? You're right. Now, the part I'm not telling you about is that, she said, well, you're fat too. Which, of course, I didn't want to admit to myself, but I was fat. And I lost a bunch of weight since, changed my diet. So anyway, we kind of motivate each other by insulting each other sometimes. And that's how we do it. And it works for us,
You gotta find what works for you, Igor.
Yeah.
I could not say that to my wife. But you know what? My dad is like that. He used to say that to my mom all the time. And then after my mom passed away, he got remarried. He got with this girl who is a wonderful girl, and that's how he motivated her too. He's like, you're fat, you need to run that off. I'm like, holy crap, really? And they're still together 10 years later, so I guess it works for some people.
There's this belief that critical honesty works really well. Mark Manson, who an author I really respect, he talks a lot about attracting women through critical honesty. So if a woman wears this cleavage, for instance, and you can, she's putting her boobs on the show, right? So she's like, she wants the guys to see it. What you can do is you can just stand in front of her and just look at her boobs, right? And if she says, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you looking there? You can just say, well, you obviously wear, clothing that tells us you want us to look. So what the hell is your problem? Right?
You're welcome.
Exactly. And just the other day we were at a party, and another friend of ours, she wore a t-shirt, and her nipples, you can see the nipples. So, we just started staring at the nipples, and she, at first she was like, oh well, you know what, I'm fine with that. But fairly soon she was sitting with her arms folded, really slouched, so you can't see it because on one hand, there's the duality that women want attention, but once you give it to them, they really, they just withdraw, and they understand how stupid it was for them to do something like that. But anyway, that's a whole other subject. I think it could be an episode in and of itself.
Yeah, the nipple show.
The nipple lifestyle.
Oh, crap. So, Igor, what are some parting thoughts you have for the list builders as we're coming to a close of this one?
Well, I want the list builders to walk away from this episode with this idea. You are not right all the time. In fact, most of the time, you're completely wrong. You're a really bad judge of what you need and what you don't need in your life, and what's right and what's wrong, what's going to make you happy and what's not going to make you happy, and what causes your results or failures and what doesn't. So the first and foremost, stop kind of running on autopilot. Question everything about yourself, question everything about your routine, question your habits, question your belief system, and you'll find the quality of your life improve dramatically. And then get help from somebody who's qualified to help you, of course, like like a mentor, but not like Jonathan, I kid you not. On Facebook, on my Facebook feed, I've seen somebody who's 12 years old and he says he's a life coach.
All right. I need one of those.
It is just incredible. And this guy published a book already with his father.
Good for him. I got to give that kid props.
Man, I got to get Erica moving. I mean, she's falling behind. She's 4 and she hasn't published a book or started a podcast yet, Jonathan.
Good grief, man. You're slacking. I'm questioning your parenting.
My point is this. Get a mentor who's experienced, who is qualified to poke holes in your bullshit, and who can guide you in the right direction when you're trying to make key decisions that can shape the course of your life and your business.
Boom. There it is. So another episode of List Building Lifestyle is in the can. Thank you, Igor. Thank you, Nipples. And thank you, List Builders, for tuning in. We'll be back next time.
Thank you for listening to the List Building Lifestyle. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Google Play to never miss an episode. Because who knows, just one conversion tactic we share on the show might double your list and double your business. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. And don't forget to claim your complimentary copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. This is Igor Kheifets, and until next time we talk, have a good one.
This is the podcastfactory.com.